Early in the morning,
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and I'm back with a very interesting video today. This introduction of a European Super League. This is going to change the landscape of football forever if this goes through. So without further ado, like the video for me, press the bell to be notified for me, press that subscribe button. It's road to 25,000, man. It's road to 25,000, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to get that 25,000 milestone, bruh. You feel me? Please watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, and all of that, and let's get into this. So, if you guys haven't seen, this has kind of dominated the news over the last 24 hours. And what it is Europe's elite football clubs basically joining one Super League that will actually run every year. So an annual league that is different and separate to FIFA, separate to all the Champions League stuff, separate to the Prem, separate to domestic stuff. So the Prem's elite teams will join this league. The idea was that French and German and Spanish and Italian leagues, all that will join as well. However, some French teams haven't joined yet, and I believe German teams haven't joined yet. This news is evolving constantly, so I could be doing 1,000,001 videos on this, but I'm going to try and give you all the information I can in one. Don't get it twisted. It won't be surprised by the time this video goes out, German teams have joined. It wouldn't surprise me. For now, German teams haven't joined. So before I talk about all the intricacies and the corruption and everything wrong with this, let me just explain what it actually is. So as you can see on your screens right now, the competition format is going to be 20 participating clubs from 15 founding clubs and a qualifying mechanism for a further 5 teams to qualify annually based on achievements in the prior season. Midweek fixtures with all participating clubs continuing to compete in their respective national leagues, preserving the traditional domestic match calendar which remains at the heart of the club game. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you literally look at that third paragraph there, it's meant to begin in August. Okay, it says an August start with clubs participating in 2 groups of 10, playing home and away fixtures with top 3 in each group automatically qualifying for the quarterfinals. Teams finishing 4th and 5th will then compete in a 2-legged playoff for the remaining quarterfinal positions. A 2-leg knockout format will be used to reach the final at the end of May, which will be staged as a single fixture at a neutral venue. This is the key bit that I want to focus on, and what the title focuses on. Because the title says, has this, or something along the lines of, is this European League ruining football? Is it going to ruin football? Something along the lines of ruining football. And this is the paragraph I want you lot to focus on. It says the new annual tournament will provide a significantly greater economic growth and support for European football via a long-term commitment to uncapped solidarity payments, which will grow in line with league revenues. These solidarity payments will be subsequently higher than those generated by the current European competition and are expected to be in excess of 10 billion euros during the course of the initial commitment period of the clubs. In addition, the competition will be built on a sustainable financial foundation, with all founding clubs signing up to a spending framework. In exchange for their commitment, founding clubs will receive an amount of 3.5 billion euros solely to support their infrastructure investment plans and to offset the impact of the C-19 pandemic. So what does this actually mean for the clubs involved? It means all these founding clubs, these founding titans, these founding fathers, whatever you want to call them, yeah? What it means for them is they're going to get an injection, a large injection of money, okay? A hell of a lot of it. A lot of money to participate in this new league. No matter what happens in this league, they will get this money for participating. It means that no matter where these clubs finish in the Super League, or in fact, no matter where these clubs finish in general, where they finish in the Prem, where they finish in Champs, where they finish in the FA Cup, it doesn't really matter. Because no matter where they finish in these domestic cups and these European cups and things like that, which is laced with history, laced with heritage, it doesn't matter. Because they will still get a comfy $10 billion or 10 billion euros, whatever it is, or 10 billion euros over the commitment period, plus the 3.5, which probably rolls on every year. Like, who knows where that comes from? Why is this such a problem? Why is this ruining football? Because anything with too much money in, when there's money in anything, it ruins anything. Now, football's been a business for years now. Football has been a billion, trillion dollar business or whatever for years now. So it's not like money's new. But the thing about football is it's a very rich history with football, all the way down to a grassroots working class level. Do you understand? Football, the sport, was not founded on corporations. It was founded on a grassroots level. and built up and up and up to the business that it is today. So anything that starts affecting the Premier League's finances, the FA's finances, things like that, that trickles down all the way down to the level that we play on the Sunday League. Do you understand? It impacts the DNA and the fabric of the sport entirely. And that's not over exaggerating. You know, back in the day, it used to be women, no offense, it used to be women back in the day when my teenage years, they used to go, oh, why do men get so worked up? It's just a sport, it's just a sport, it's just a game, it's just a game. And I hear that, it is just a game, you are right, it is. However, this game has taken on a life of its own, and it's important to a lot of people. And it actually affects and impacts a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, financially and just mentally, you feel me? So, yeah, it is just a game, but this game is now worth trillions. It's very important now. The beauty in football was that it was competitive. What makes it thrilling, what makes it exciting is the possibility of relegation or promotion. That there's something big at stake. It's like a Jeopardy sport. You call it a Jeopardy sport. You don't just play it for the fun of it. There is actual consequences of where you are in the league and things like that. So if you now introduce a league that runs annually, every single year, not every 4 years, not every 8 years, every 1 year, where's the incentive to want to put your eggs and teams into these baskets, these traditional baskets? Where's the incentive? The money is in the Super League. It completely ruins the fabric of the sport. It's crazy. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here as a football historian, a football purist, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know what, we can't do this because this takes away from FIFA's history and FIFA's rich culture and UEFA this, and don't get it twisted. FIFA is famously corrupt. Famously corrupt. UEFA, corrupt. Boxing, corrupt. We can change the sport. Boxing, corrupt as you like. You've literally got Irish mafia running boxing. Do you understand? In football, it's been corrupt, so don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here like oh yeah, we need to protect FIFA and this and this. But I'm sitting here as a football fan, as a fan of the sport, of where the football actually comes from, the history of it, and the importance of how important it is to the working class people. When you start taking away the power from the fans and things and turning it into this real monopolized entity where all the power is in the clubs and not with the fans, and not even power within all clubs. The power is just in elite clubs. So clubs with the most money, clubs with the most history, clubs with the most clout. It consolidates power at the top. No longer are the little teams competitive now. No longer, we will never see a Leicester win the Premier League again. We will never see any of that again because the little teams ain't got no power now. All the big powers in the Prem, who are now joining this European elite, they're just going to get all this influx of billions and billions of euros just for competing in it. Now, why are Arsenal in it? Arsenal have not won a league since 2004. I'm an Arsenal fan. I am an Arsenal season ticket holder. And I'm sitting here telling you we shouldn't be in it. But why do you think Arsenal, a team that is shocking, who ain't won the league in nothing, in donkey's years, involved? Because we're broke and we want the money. You feel me? Why are Spurs, the same Spurs that have actually sacked their manager while I'm filming this, by the way, they've sacked their manager. Do you know why? Because they caught a whiff of that money. They caught a whiff of that Super League money and said, fuck this, we don't need Mourinho no more. We'll buy the league next. Do you know what I'm saying? They just bunned him off today. They within hours of joining the Super League, they fucked off one of the most decorated, albeit a washed out manager, but he's decorated manager in history. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? FIFA have come out and released a statement. I'm not going to read it out. I'm going to leave it on your screens in about 2 seconds. Pause it right now if you want to see it. UEFA have come out and dished out statements. Other people have come out and released statements. So as you can see, Liverpool are one of the European elites, and they tweeted, leading European football clubs announce new Super League competition. Carragher quote tweets by saying, what an embarrassment we've become at Liverpool Football Club. Think of all the people who have come before us at this level who would be equally embarrassed as well. UEFA have actually come out and said every club and player participating in the Super League could be banned from all UEFA and FIFA competitions, European or international level. Look at how it's shaken up the sport. Look at how within hours of this thing being announced, which, don't get it twisted, this has been in the pipeline for years. This has been in the pipeline for years. But within hours of this coming out, it's shaken up the whole sport. There's talks that they're just going to get rid of the Champions League and they can ban people from World Cups and what's all this for? Why are we taking this risk? Do you know why? All for money. But let's have a look at this though. Have a look at your screens right now. The share price of Juventus has jumped by around 5% this morning. On the news of the new European Super League tournament, investors are reacting positively to the announcement despite the open criticism from fans, politicians, the media and football officials. What does that tell you? It's all about money. What does that tell you right there? That football isn't about football anymore. It's not about fans no more. It is a business. Now, if you know football quite intricate like I do and my friends do, you'll know that Juventus' share prices dropped a couple months ago. Now, it's no surprise that Juventus are going to be joining this league because they've got a business model. They've got stocks and shares the same way Manchester United does. So, despite fans, politicians, the media and football officials all saying this is bad for the sport, it's making Juventus more money. Share prices are going up. What message is that going to give out to other people that are and ahhing about doing this? Their eyes are just cha-ching, cha-ching. That's literally all they're thinking of. And that is why the sport is being ruined, because it never used to be this way. It was always, listen, the same way countries, government, the same way the power should and always will be with the people. We just don't know it yet because we always listen to what governments say. It is the same thing here. The power in sports is with the people. If you think Manchester United, Man U and Man City and them man, Chelsea and them man will be doing this if all the fans said they will never attend a game again? No, they wouldn't. They would say, sorry fans, sorry, can I wipe your cheeks for you? I'm so sorry, can I wipe the piss from you? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry fans. That's what they would do. If all of us fans said we're never attending a game again, they would bend over backwards to get us back. But because we're slaves to corporations, we're slaves to capitalism, we're slaves to what we want. Because we know we want to see our favourite players again and our favourite fans, they know we're going to carry on buying it. But the sport is completely ruined. Completely ruined. Now let's have a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan is a bank, one of the biggest banks in the world, right? JP Morgan is the financier, or whatever the word is, beneficiary, or whatever, I don't know what the word is. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that are financing this. It's funny though, because JP Morgan got caught with 20 tons of cocaine on one of their shipments. You can call this a conspiracy, you can call it whatever you want. I saw a tweet reminding me. I remember seeing the story last year or whenever it was. I remember seeing the story. And someone said, do you remember that 20 tons of cocaine that got found on a JP Morgan ship that we never heard of again? He was like, stay woke. They're cleaning that bread through international sports. And when I saw that, I thought, bingo, cool, they probably are. That would not surprise me. Do you know what 20 tons of cocaine? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what 1 ton is? That's 1,000 kilos. 1 ton is 1,000 kilograms. 1 kilo of cocaine is what? 50, let's say it's 50 bags. 1 kilo. So 1 kilo times 1,000 is 1 ton. Times that by 20, you're looking at £1 billion. You're looking at £1 billion worth of coke on a JP Morgan bank ship. There is no way your average street dealer, even your middle dealers, even half your higher ups can't afford to get that across the border. Where do you think the drugs and all these illegal things come from? They come from your politicians, they come from your bankers who have all the control over certain things. Where is that 20 tons of coke? Seriously, where's the 20 tons of coke? That's £1 billion worth of coke. Where's it gone? It would not surprise me that if these are using that bread, using that food to finance international sport. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, talking conspiracy theories. Let's be real here. Let's call a spade a spade. Do you know what 20 tons of food is? Where's it gone? Seriously, where's it gone? I talk all the time about how corrupt this world is. That's not just government. That is media. That is sports. That is anything you want. Where there's money, there is greed, there is corruption. Simple as that. You've literally got one of the most corrupt presidents in Perez, one of the Madrid's president. He is now leading this European thing, the Glazer family. They're the vice president of this European Super League. There's always complaints about those two people, about corruption and being money driven and not actually caring about the sport. Half of these owners, they're not even English. So you've got a Stan Kroenke, who's the Arsenal owner. He's just a Yank. He is just a greedy American, who has never given a shit about the sport. He's just too busy making money with the Rams abroad and making money, not really care about it, not investing back in the club, not investing back in our facilities. Abramovich, a Russian oligarch who took over England for monetary purposes. You think all these billionaires just care about the sport? It's the investment. So it's in their best interest to get an injection of banker money, which is probably being cleaned by drug money, if I'm being honest. All that money. Where can JP Morgan afford to pay? I'm sorry, I don't care. The biggest bank in the world. Okay, yes, of course they're going to have billions. But where on earth are they going to have 10 billion per club plus 3.5 billion disposable for football? Seriously, the corruption here is deep. And this has completely changed the landscape and dynamic of the sport. You've even got Boris Johnson, that clown, that dickhead of a racist politician. I hate him with all my guts. Even he's come out and said, this is poor for the sport and this and that. You've got the Prime Minister saying these things. FIFA came out and said, listen, you're never, like, if you do this and you lot do this, you may get banned permanently from playing FIFA, this and this. Do you know what the new president said of this Super League? Man came out and said, doesn't matter, we'll just make a new one. We'll start a new one. We can afford it. That's the power these lot have. That's the money these lot have. What is it, 100 years or so of FIFA. That beautiful FIFA World Cup, that iconic fist in the world, you know, the beautiful golden cup, that iconic cup there. A man just undermined it and said, you know what, you can block us if you want. We'll just make a new one. That tells you all you need to know. Everything to do with history, heritage, culture, grassroots football, grassroots working class football, where football actually originates from, and how you do realise all the Premier League and everything that we have in place, it does give back to the local community. That's the point of what makes the sport great. It gives back to the local community. It helps fund sports stuff in certain council things and all this stuff. What on earth is this European super elitist? I already hate elitism anyway. I already hate the fact that you've got people who don't even know how the world running the world. You've got rich people born into a bubble of wealth and rich and power and influence. They don't know what the hood's like. They don't know anything. But they're the ones running the world. So why is it now that elite clubs are now running the sport? The sport is for the people. The sport is for us. Governments are for us. All these things are for us. But people over time have lost track of who really has the power in these things and why and things like that. So, boy, I can't lie though, the memes have been hilarious. Like, have a look at this one. Arsenal trying to come back to the Premier League after losing 11-0 in their first game. Nah, they're trying to kill me. But anyway, before I go, I just want to end on this. I'm just going to read a few tweets out by a guy called Charles Watts, and he summarised it perfectly. And this is about Arsenal, by the way. The jeopardy of the Villarreal game has all but disappeared then. Lose and miss out on the Champions League, so what? What does one more season outside it matter now? Might not be allowed in it next season anyway, because we're being banned. It's still a trophy to play for, obviously, but just a big hollow feeling now. Same goes for Premier League next season, if it still goes ahead as is. Couple of defeats early on, then just plod along for the remainder of the season with nothing to play for and no fear of any consequences. That big prize pot always guaranteed anyway. Competition as we know it, gone. I'm not scared of change, but can't think of much worse than a Stan Kroenke owned Arsenal in this. A horrendous stall. No chance of the club competing. Kroenke getting richer and richer with Arsenal plodding along as also Rams. Look at his US franchise, it's awful, awful, awful. I think he means Rams, by the way. But yeah, he summarised it perfectly. The game is fucked, to be honest. We're fucked. 1 minute the world is one way, and at the flick of a switch, it can change. But the people who want it to change represent about 0.1% of the population. So who really runs this world? Who really Or who thinks they run the world? As I said, the power is always within the people. So why are we letting this happen? Why are we letting this happen? How is it that 0.00% of the population can make 99% of the decisions? It's crazy. I want to see who made it this far into the video. If you made it this far, I want you to comment below #GreedyPigsRuiningFootball. Okay? Now let me know your thoughts below, because this is a crazy controversial topic. What do you lot think? Is it going to be better for the sport? Is it going to be worse? Who do you support? Is your team in the league? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you soon. Peace.